News from NTA's News Top Table, treated with an extra touch of fine detail. Tonight, 7 years after they lost their homes to insurgents, communities around Kwanduga in Borno State finally have a place they can call home. The fuel queues and efforts to return the supply chain to its normal state. We have the reaction of the NNPC Limited boss. On information technology, are there any health risks in the deployment of 5G technology? We will separate the facts from fiction. And in sports, the MKO Abiola National Stadium earned a key date for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. We won't let too much of the cat out of the bag. After all, the taste of the pudding is in the eating. I am Fatima Umurbuba, and this is News Extra. You're welcome. You can follow this news broadcast live on our website, nta.ng/live, and on YouTube channel, NTA News Online. You can also visit our Twitter at NTA News Now, our Facebook page, NTA Network News, and Instagram, NTA Network, for updates. We begin with FEC. The Federal Executive Council has approved a request for the granting of Nigerian citizenship to 286 foreign nationals. The Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola, announced this while briefing journalists after the council's meeting presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports on this and other resolutions adopted by the highest policy decision-making organ of the Nigerian government.
Over 600 foreign nationals from all parts of the world were said to have applied to be granted citizenship of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The significance of this is that Nigeria is, after all, one of the most sought-after places to live in, contrary to vituperative utterances against the country in some quarters.
These applicants are from virtually every part of the world. Americans, North and South, Australian, Europeans, Arabs, Asians, all over.
And after an extensive deliberation on the recommendations of the National Advisory Committee on Nigerian Citizenship, the Federal Executive Council approved that 286 of those desirous of being Nigerians and thoroughly scrutinized by relevant government agencies be granted the nation's citizenship.
So the number of those who are granted Nigerian citizenship and naturalization, who are desirous of being Nigerians, is 208. While those who are granted Nigerian citizenship by registration are women married to Nigerians, called Niger wives, are 78. They are men and women of integrity and good character.
The applicants, as the minister explained, are now eligible to be fully processed through administration of oath and indeed certification. Meanwhile, a 12.09 billion naira contract has been approved for the supply, installation and maintenance of IVO bridges in Nigeria's aviation industry.
This is part of all that we've been doing to reactivate the failing infrastructure within the country. And of course, Lagos being the major airport in the country, and this will make passenger facilitation easier, safer, and of course it will add value and create more efficiency within the system of that particular airport, and that this is also an ongoing program for all of our failed airports.
In the meantime, the federal government has formally closed out the contract for the construction of 17-story local content building in Yanagua by Elsa State.
You will recall that in 2020, Mr. President already commissioned that project. There were some ancillary works that had to be done to connect some of the buildings, and that was now presented to Council for the sum of 1.817 billion. So this is the end of this project, and we have completely delivered this to Nigerians.
The minister used the opportunity to confirm that President Muhammadu Buhari has been formally briefed on the adulterated fuel imported into the country, assuring Nigerians that the situation being effectively handled by appropriate regulatory agencies will soon be a thing of the past. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Critical national issues were brought to the front burner as President Muhammadu Buhari granted audience to the former Minister of Defense, General Theophilus Danjuma. State House correspondent Adam Sambo again reports that the engagement Tuesday evening was the first since October 2020.
It was a warm welcome for the former defense minister on arrival at the official residence of the president Tuesday evening. President Muhammadu Buhari and General Theophilus Danjuma walked majestically to the dining table for a private dinner. Shortly after, the president and his guests retired for talks on critical national issues. Details of their discussions held behind closed doors for more than 1 hour were, however, not disclosed. General Danjuma's visit to the State House is coming barely 1 week after one of his mentees, Senator Emmanuel Bacha, came to the president to announce his defection from the PDP to the governing APC.
Last week, I went to see General Danjuma and I told him of my decision to cross over to the APC. We are actually his foot soldiers. And I said to him, I am crossing over. So he wished me well and asked that I should extend his pleasantries because I know the relationship that has existed between you. So for me, it is a homecoming. And I want to assure you, Mr. President, that the story of the party will change in Taraba State.
General Danjuma was a great Nigerian. That's all I can say. He's a great Nigerian. So I'm very pleased you are quite close to him. I told him I have been loyal to him when we were in uniform. The most important thing that he appreciated it and he put it on record. That leads to my success professionally and eventually here. Thank you very much indeed. You are genuinely welcome.
General Theophilus Danjuma served as chairman, Presidential Committee on the Northeast Initiative established by President Muhammadu Buhari. The president also granted audience to the founder and chairman of Oriental Energy Resources Limited, Alhaji Muhammadu Indimi. Alhaji Indimi, a philanthropist, came to express formal appreciation to President Muhammadu Buhari for the honor done to him by inaugurating some projects he executed in Borno State. They are the 2.5 billion naira state-of-the-art Center for Distance Learning and International Conference Center donated to the University of Maiduguri, as well as an aircraft hangar at Maiduguri International Airport. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Now, by the judgment of political watchers, the government of the day has delivered a great deal of its campaign promises. So, how to protect the legacies of the Buhari administration was a major concern at this month's National Policy Dialogue held in Abuja. Musbaut Nawahab reports that the monthly summit is being organized by the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Policy Development and Analysis.
The current administration is winding down on its tenure and its performance already under scrutiny.
If you want to talk about Lagos Badagry, it's done. If you want to Abuja Kano, it's done. If you want Maiduguri Kano, it's done. If you want Oweto Bridge, it's done. If you want Enugu Port Harcourt, it's done. So everything that we used for campaign in those days have been done.
Claims of a presidential aide would go for test, and on the cards of discussants, the Buhari government scored high on its various developmental projects and policies, including fight against insecurity, roads and railway construction, implementation of Treasury single accounts, and tax credit system.
I want to say that the people of the South, South, and Southeast, and even North Central are grateful to him for the application of this window in making available the sum of 185 billion naira for the Calabar, Odukbani, Itu, Ikorekbene to Aba Federal Highway dualization, which has been awarded.
So I would still not allow the president to believe that he has succeeded. by comparing himself with failures. He must compare himself with successes. The best way to keep your legacy is to look at people who are succeeding.
But then, in the midst of the concerns for legacy sustenance, they advised the president to ensure a credible election to produce a credible candidate that will sustain the trajectory of development.
President Buhari should withdraw his last statement that he doesn't care whosoever succeeding. You have to be concerned about who your successor is. A true leader is somebody who is always trying to mentor followership, to mentor other people. We want to see thousands of President Muhammadu Buhari that is being acclaimed as one of the best materials in the world.
Buhari administration has demonstrated that government is a continuum by carrying on and completing many ongoing projects it met. That too is what participants here are expecting from succeeding governments. In Abuja, Musbao and Wahab, NC News.
Let's head to Lagos now, where the long queues that characterized most fuel stations around Lagos metropolis in the last few days is gradually easing off. Abolade Salami, who visited some petrol stations, reports that motorists are now buying the product with ease.
Against what was experienced by motorists who had to spend hours on queues to buy petrol in the last couple of days, the situation is gradually returning to normal, as most fuel stations visited were seen dispensing the product to vehicles. Meanwhile, it was observed that most of the fuel stations along Medubelo Way and Falomo in Ikoyi had new products being discharged and immediately sold at the official pump price.
I'm just hoping to get
Well, you are just very close to the pump. It's just like 6 vehicles ahead of you.
I don't know what will happen by the time I get there.
While motorists are gradually breathing a sigh of relief of the man-hours lost to the long queues, they also appealed to relevant authorities to, as a matter of urgency, address the issues at hand.
For the queue to move and I buy food and I leave, I didn't plan to come and spend 40 minutes at the filling station. But I'm happy I'm at least closer to the pump or whatever.
They said while the panic buying situation came as a surprise, the quick response of the federal government to address the causes came as huge relief. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
As part of the ongoing voluntary resettlement of communities declared safe by the military, Borno State government has resettled Malari and neighboring settlements in Kwanduga local government after 7 years of displacement. Governor Babagana Omar Zulum officially flagged off resettlement of the community, where 58.5 million naira was disbursed to the returnees. Mohamed Goni reports.
Malari village, including neighboring settlements that include Malumsuti, Kwajiri and Blamari, is the second community resettled in Kondoga local government by the present administration in the ongoing resettlement of communities declared safe for habitation by the security forces. Each head of the returning households in Malari was given food and non-food items that include rice, maize, cooking oil and brocade, as well as 20,000 naira, while each woman was given mattress, blanket, fabric and 10,000 naira. 500 households whose houses have not been rebuilt were given 100,000 naira each in addition to food and non-food items. Some of the returnees who spoke to NTA News expressed joy over the resettlement and pledged to live and develop their community.
Very soon, we shall rehabilitate the primary school. We shall complete the renovation of the primary health care center. We shall construct the shopping complex on all other critical infrastructures that are meant to enhance the livelihood of the community.
The governor also appreciated the Northeast Development Commission for the provision of food and non-food items, while the state government offered the cash support. Commissioner for Reconstruction, Rehabilitation and Resettlement, Engineer Mustapha Gubio, said 803 houses were rebuilt, while 253 male and 379 female returnees have been resettled in Malari community. In Maiduguri, Mohamed Goni, NTA News.
And succor has come the way of 150 indigent of Barako community of Dawakin Tofa local government area of Kano State. Yohana Hassan Barrow reports that the support is courtesy of National Commission for Refugees, Migrant and Internally Displaced Persons.
One needs not to be told that this settlement suffered from degradation. It is a community in Dawakin Tofa local government area of Kano State that was affected by flood. Garba Muhammad is one of those whose houses were affected during the last year's rainy season. Following a need assessment report by the National Commission for Refugees, Migrant and Internally Displaced Persons, Garba and his partners now receive some relief materials from the Commission to cushion the effects of the disaster.
The fence of my house was washed away. This is the second time.
We thank the Commission for supporting us. So said the elected Khadija Ermodi. Items doled out include pasta, millet, rice, cowpea, palm oil, among others.
We interact with the stakeholders. The local government has contributed in selections of the persons of concern, and also we came with our ICT people to capture the data of those persons.
The beneficiaries, who are full of praises to the Speaker, House of Representatives Femi Bajabiamila, and the Refugees Commission, called on authorities concerned to come to their aid and reclaim a big ditch in the heart of their settlement. In Kano, Yahana Sahasan, NTA.
And reports just reaching us indicates that the disruption in fuel supply through efforts to rid the country of imported methanol-contaminated petrol will soon fizzle out. Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Farouk Ahmed, who led the stakeholders on inspection to some depots, says loading has been intensified. Lydia Samson reports.
Most of the depots visited, it is the same story of not just product availability, but of certified products without methanol. These have strengthened resolve to learn from mistakes and chart a way forward. Already, 6 vessels containing 3 million litres of petrol ordered by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited to mitigate supply gap is in the country. Farouk Ahmed reiterates that the country has 20 days petrol sufficiency.
I'm happy to say that loading has been going on in most of the depots because we've been able to identify, isolate, and quarantine the limited amount of gasoline that was affected by the methanol volume that was discovered. The vessel that
Thank you, Lydia. In another development, First Lady of Nigeria, Aisha Buhari, reassures Nigerian women and children of her continued support towards uplifting their status for a better future. She gave this reassurance when the ambassador of Poland to Nigeria visited her. Her State House correspondent Aliu Kabir reports that the First Lady also received the Vice Chairman of the ECOWAS Commission, Finda Koroma.
Receiving the ambassador of the Republic of Poland to Nigeria, the First Lady and her guest expressed their desire to collaborate in every way areas of mutual interest include women empowerment with the aim of enhancing their skills through various programs and to boost their capacity and confidence in order to contribute to their quota for accelerated national development. The First Lady had earlier granted audience to the Vice President of the ECOWAS Commission, Finda Koroma, where discussions centered on the possible collaboration between the ECOWAS Commission and the Africa First Lady's Peace Mission on the need to improve lot of women and children across the African continent.
I really appreciate her visit. Fenda Koroma, the Vice President of ECOWAS, and we would like to seek for ECOWAS support of Africa Facilities Peace Mission to play a role in peace building and women's participation in politics in Africa.
I came here to congratulate my sister warmly, Her Excellency Aisha Buhari, on her recent confirmation, actually, as President of the African First Ladies Peace Mission. As you know, ECOWAS predicates itself on peace building, on peace and security. And we believe that First Ladies really are champions for change, and they have a vital role to play in peace building.
I'm here this evening to meet with her First Lady, Aisha Buhari, to talk about concerns of women in Nigeria and in Poland, and ways of solving those problems and concerns, looking for new avenues of cooperation between the women of Poland and the women of Nigeria. And I believe that both countries could enhance the role of women in all aspects of life.
They promised to continue to be working together for mutual benefits. From the State House, Aliu Kabir, NTA News.
And we are right at the point where we take our first breather. When News Extra returns, some cheering news for air travelers, just as the 5G network holds sway. Be part of our next segment for the myths, the facts, perception, and the benefits. Just stay.
The Executive Governor of Yobe State, Honorable May Malabuni, pursuing an unrelenting drive to revitalize Yobe's education sector, has the pleasure as chief host to inform the public about the Yobe State Education Appeal Fundraising event, scheduled for Thursday, the 10th of February 2022 at the Ladi Kwali Hall of the Sheraton Hotel, Abuja from 9:30 a.m. Co-host, Distinguished Senator Ahmed Ibrahim Lawan, PhD, GCON. Chief Launcher, Alhaji Dahiru Barau Mangal. Chairman, CEO, Mangal Group of Companies supported by Launcher. Chairperson, His Excellency Ambassador Baba Gana Kingibi, GCON. Hosts, all state governors, Senator Bukar Abba Ibrahim, CFR, Senator Ibrahim Gaidam, Senator Ibrahim Bumai, Engineer Abubakar D. Aliu, Malam Adamu, Mohammed Musa Bello, Adamu Meina Waziri, and Kashim Ibrahim Imam. Royal Father of the Day, His Royal Highness Muhammad Abali Ibn Muhammad Idrisa, OFR, Emir of Fika and Chairman, Yobe State Council of Chiefs. For further information, please contact 0701 313 5386 or 0810 0000888. Announcer, His Excellency Idi Bardigubana, the Deputy Governor, Yobe State, and the Chairman, Organizing Committee.
They say the more you learn, the more you grow. With MTN's reliable internet and YouTube learning videos, there's no limit to what you can learn or how far you can grow. Get up to 3 hours of free streaming on YouTube when you buy data plans from MTN. Dial *131*750# or download my MTN app to buy your preferred YouTube data plans.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Association of National Accountants of Nigeria, ANAN, invites members to the first session of 2022 Mandatory Continuing Professional Development MCPD program. Theme: Contemporary Development in Public Sector Accounting. Date is Monday, February 28 to Wednesday, March 2nd, 2022. Time 9 a.m. daily. Venue: M&M Event Center, 900 Herbert Macaulay Way, beside International Conference Center, Abuja. Chief host: Reverend Canon Professor Benjamin Chuka Osisioma, FCNA, President and Chairman of Council. Signed, Dr. Nuruddin Abba Abdullahi, MNI, FCNA, Chief Executive Officer. Announcer, ANAN, a premium brand of choice.
For you to tanda for this world, you got know what's up. Sabi waiting day ground, then start to do your own. Get ginger to sabi every. Because when you fit see the different side of the world, anything they possible. BBC News for Pidgin, make your life better.
Bye. Don't worry, dear. I'll take care of it. How do you manage to keep your fabric so white? And how do you manage to keep your house this clean?
I always use Hypo to make our white clothes whiter and to keep our home clean and germ-free.
Make your white fabrics whiter and your home free of illness causing viruses and germs with the disinfecting power of Hypo Bleach.
A golden fish, they say, has no hiding place. When you're looking for a world-class citadel of learning with high standards and moral values, Thomas Adelmi University is the place to be, with our duly accredited courses ranging from medical laboratory science, nursing science, accounting, criminology and security studies, computer science, and software engineering. Our serene environment is effective learning in grooming the future leaders of Nigeria and, by extension, the world. Contact us on 09 090-539-29899 or visit our website on www.tau.edu.ng. Thomas Adeomi University, we set the pace, others follow.
The Senate Committee on Science and Technology hereby invites the general public and stakeholders to a public hearing on the following bills: Nigerian Building and Road Research Institute, Establishment, etc. Bill 2020 SB 333, National Energy Sustainable Development Bill 2021 SB 81, National Research and Innovation Council Establishment Bill 2022 SB 758. Date Thursday 17th February 2022. Time 11 a.m., 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. respectively. Venue Conference Room 022 Senate New Building, National Assembly Complex, Abuja. Chief host, Senator Ahmed Lawan, President of the Senate. Stakeholders have to submit memoranda to the Committee Secretariat, SG25, Senate Ground Floor, White House, National Assembly Complex, Abuja. For inquiries, please contact 0803-316-5014. Senator Uche Lilian Ekunife, Iyom, Chairman. Announcer.
Great to have you back on News Extra. Here's a reminder that you can follow this news broadcast live on our website, nta.ng/live, and on YouTube channel, NTA News Online. You can also visit our Twitter at NTA News Now, our Facebook page, NTA Network News, and Instagram, NTA Network, for updates. Good news ahead for Nigerian retirees as Senate moves to amend the Pensions Reform Act 2014 to make pensioners the real beneficiaries of their savings in retirement. National Assembly correspondent Dayo Gunshala reports.
The Pensions Reform Act 2014 Amendment Bill was among 6 bills that passed second reading at plenary. Senator Ali Wamako, in his lead debate, expressed optimism that when the bill finally becomes act, retirees will be the real beneficiaries of their pension savings.
It seeks to provide for succor to retirees in the delay and other difficulties they stumble upon in withdrawing their savings from a retiring savings account. Equally, Mr. President and my dear colleagues, it provides for a definite and reasonable percentage a pensioner can withdraw from such an account.
The Act provides that investments are going to be carried out by these, fund administrators, and at the end of the day, it will add up to what your benefit is going to be in the long run. Where are they doing the investment? What is the accrued interest or benefit to those investments?
Act amend the Pension Reform Act Cap P4, Laws for the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to provide for a definite percentage a retiree can withdraw from his retirement savings account and for other matters related there to 2022 second reading taken, and the bill is referred to the Committee on Establishment and Public Service Matters for further legislative action to report back within 4 weeks.
Other bills that scaled second reading include a bill to establish the Federal University of Transportation, Daura, a bill for an act to amend the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps Act, as well as a bill for an act to establish the Federal University of Medical Sciences, Egbe, Kogi State.
Establishment of this university will go a long way to develop human capital in Nigeria, properly safeguarding and sustaining the huge investment of federal government in the transport sector.
Establishment of this university, Mr. President, as a specialized center of excellence in the field of medicine, will bring to fruition this desirable objective and the vision of our founding fathers.
Senate received 4 presidential nominees for confirmation as commissioners for the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission. It also confirmed the appointment of 2 nominees as members of the Federal Judicial Service Commission. Senate adjourned to Tuesday next week from the National Assembly. Dayo Gunshala, NTA News.
In the meantime, the House of Representatives is seeking amendment of the National Health Act to enable imposition of a 500 million naira fine or imprisonment on violators. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports that the bill has passed second reading.
Section 46 of the National Health Act states that no public officer shall be sponsored for medical checkup, investigation or treatment abroad at the expense of the public except on referral and recommendation by a medical board and approved by the health minister or commissioner. The amendment bill from Sergio Ogun seeks to address the lacuna.
Cure the defect in the act because there is no punishment for flouting it.
It's an amendment to an existing act. That there's a gap.
The bill hopes for improvements of the nation's health sector for the benefit of citizens. House members also passed for second reading a bill that seeks to give traction to federal government's agricultural development efforts through the establishment of an agricultural trust fund.
Not any government in the past has given due consideration and quite an excellent intervention to the agricultural sector than the present government led by Muhammadu Buhari. Of course, we would like to have more.
This bill seeks, amongst others, to use the instrument of the trust fund to procure agricultural equipment for onward transmission to agricultural units in subsidy arrangements.
The motion from Deputy Minority Leader Tobi Okechukwu urging authorities to curb rising cases of ritual killings was adopted.
Declare a national emergency on ritual killings in Nigeria and call on national orientation agents, parents, heads of schools, religious leaders, and the media to undertake a campaign to change the negative narrative that is bedeviling our society.
Also adopted was the motion from Julius Pondi calling for investigation into explosion of a crude oil vessel at Escravos Estuary in Delta.
Call on the federal government to urgently mitigate the effect of the explosion on the affected communities.
House also urged the establishment of fire stations at fuel tank farms to arrest fire outbreaks as raised by Thomas Ereitomi. Meanwhile, the ad hoc committee set up to investigate illegal charges on contracts by ministries, departments, and agencies of government has been inaugurated.
The unlawful imposition of administrative levies and charges ranging from 5 to 25% of contract sums on contractors significantly inflates the cost of projects.
In the spirit of the present administration that is against corruption, we are saddled with this responsibility.
From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
Let's talk ICT now. The operation of the 5th generation network, 5G, as it is popularly known, is now setting new priorities for key players in the world's telecommunication industry to deploy safe and efficient measures in realizing a seamless migration for effective service delivery. Nigeria's government is also taking a bold step towards a successful transition of this phase through friendly policy frameworks to encourage healthy competition. Abubakar Akwanga has that.
5G network is a new wave of connectivity expected to enhance speed, efficiency, and effective communication using platforms of telecommunication service providers. In Nigeria, the new policy framework recently launched by the federal government is expected to drive a new process that will utilize all the windows of digital potential inherent in the country.
Our economy will grow in a different manner, because it's also going to help even our agriculture. It's going to help even if broadcasting is going to take a hit. Because if you do not, update your skills, your knowledge, your know-how, then you're going to take a hit.
It's going to bring about virtual reality and augmented reality, where somebody does not, you don't need to find yourself in class, but you can be at your home and be in class. I'm not talking about via internet now. I'm talking about you being at home, but with your virtual reality eyeglass, you are in class and you're sitting right beside your friend. And both of you can be discussing as though he's actually beside you.
Oh, you still had issues, 3G, 4G, you have not even fully exploited that yet.
Maximum protection of the nation's cyberspace and network ecosystem is also a critical solution the 5G stands to provide, with emphasis on artificial intelligence and robotics for greater security assurance of the country.
If we don't deploy 5G now, we'll be left behind. The world is growing globally. everybody must tag along, and including us, we must tag along. If we don't tag along, we'll be left behind.
For anyone to tell you that there's no exposure at all, it's not completely correct. There is exposure, even from television transmissions. There are exposures, but those exposures are not harmful to human health.
As Nigeria joins frontline countries in operating the 5G network, doubts surrounding the introduction of the 5G has been settled by those who know. In Abuja, Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
So talking ICT, the National Policy of Fifth Generation Network was approved by the Federal Executive Council in 2021. This was after a series of trials and multi-stakeholder engagement that eliminated perceived health risk. How has the project fared? Are Nigerians fully aware of its benefits? Annie Daniel will tell us.
5G, they said it will be more faster than 4G, and I think 100 times faster.
Where we are going in, technology is going now. After very soon now, we are going to have like microwave that we using, we can operate on this thing, on our device.
It's like an edge to create more technology aspects, like in terms of health sectors, in terms of security, in terms of other aspects that can actually solve so many issues that we have.
It just serves as a way to improve the results.
A cross-section of Lagosians there relaying their knowledge about the 5G network. They also have fears.
Even the reporting they are doing, they could probably just send a drone and they can be speaking through speakers, and there will be no need for a reporter anymore.
Because it's going to collect more jobs from people.
The Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Ntalive, had informed Nigerians that the deployment of 5G network will play a vital role in improving the security situation in the country. This, he says, will be achieved by harnessing the potential of digital technology, such as artificial intelligence, robotics, among others, aimed at exploring real-time information for maximum efficiency. Stanley Chibihim is a scientist who has been sensitizing Nigerians on 5G network.
5G does not denature the human deoxyribonucleic acid. It doesn't have any side effects because it falls under non-ionizing radiation.
Chibihim says 5G network wouldn't have come at a better time than this, applauding the federal government for approving the policy.
However, people should not go and be sleeping under the 5G telecommunication masts, knowing very well that almost everything in life poses danger to man if it is not used accordingly.
My respondents all agree that the 5G network will enhance transparency and economic development, but insist that more awareness should be created to allay the fears of Nigerians. In Lagos, Annie Daniels, NTA News.
Away from 5G network reports now, governments of Kaduna, Bayelsa, Edo, Abia and Katsina states have appealed for support from the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council to improve the ease of doing business across the states. Benny Adams reports that the appeal was made by ease of doing business reform champions and heads of investment promotion agencies across the Federation at a workshop in Abuja.
Figures showing performances in the Ease of Doing Business Baseline Survey Report in 2021 show Gombe, Sokoto, and Jigawa as top 3 states. Infrastructure, security, transparency, access to information, regulatory environment, skill and labor, in addition to economic opportunities, are the key indicators used. While the 2022 refresh survey is being expected in the second quarter of the year, the concern of states at this meeting is beyond competition to establish the best investment environment. They are requesting the technical and political support of the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council to help improve the ease of doing business at the subnational levels.
We need development finance institutions like the Bank of Industry, the Bank of Agriculture, the CBN to ease the processes of accessing finance for SME.
The report that we're doing on the ease of doing business that PEBEC has introduced is also very critical. It will help the states clearly see where they're going wrong, what are their strengths, what are their weaknesses, and where the opportunities lie.
Jumoke Oduole is the special advisor to the president on ease of doing business. She establishes with ease the factors which shape a subnational business ecosystem.
These are areas that we've worked on for the last 5 years. We also need state governments to lend their voice into these same reform issues, because it remains, private sector don't really care whether it's federal, state, or local government. They just want the environment enabled. We have our omnibus bill coming up soon, and we're urging states to do the same, to look at their business environment and whatever legislations need amending and make those laws with their state houses of assembly.
Multiple taxation, high cost of doing business, and poor service delivery, among other factors, were identified as common challenges across the states that need urgent attention. In Abuja, Benny Adams, NTA News.
A feedback portal, e-kiosk, has been added to complement existing complaints desks at the Abuja airport for passengers to share their experiences. The application, reportgov.ng, introduced by the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council in partnership with the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, targets quick resolution of crisis. Aviation correspondent Emmanuel Ayemiro has the report.
Authorities should also make sure that they inform people on time. For instance, I have to come to the airport before I'm aware that flight is cancelled.
Apart from what some people considered unprofessional conduct by some stakeholders around the nation's airports, issues of flight delays, rescheduled or even total cancellations without effective communications have been around for some time now, to the extent that so many air passengers have lost hope of complaining to relevant agencies without redress. Such unprofessional conducts are what the e-platform is ready to address.
Most of the time the problem is sometimes 100 passengers have issues, only 2 register their complaint. And we need much more of that. It will help us to clean our system. It is helping FAN to improve. It will help the airlines to improve. It will help NCA to improve.
So rather than tweeting is also good, but please put in a formal complaint so that it can be tracked. And then we can also gather big data. We can know the pain points. So if there's a particular airport or there's a particular agency that is coming up as a heat mapping, like a hotspot for bottlenecks, then we can target it and ask exactly why there's a problem in that airport and with that agency.
The e-platform is available in Lagos and Abuja airports. Emmanuel Ayemiro, NTA News.
More Nigerian youths are being exposed to latest skills in hairstyles as means of gainful employment and self-reliance. This is being championed by Lush Hair Academy through intensive training on hair braiding and styling. Tessie Coker witnessed the event in Asaba, the Delta State capital, and now reports.
Here they are, young men and women with so much energy and excitement to learn the trending styles of hair making in order to woo their customers. It is day 2 and participants are already acquainted with the process. Okana Goodness and other participants can't wait to showcase the new hairstyles learned from Lush training to their clients.
We are doing jungle braiding, butterfly braiding, and all of that. Through the program, I'm learning things that are going to be interesting, that will also make me more hardworking.
Now I know how to stretch and attach that is being tangled. At least I've started plaiting to some extent.
I've learned so many things that I've not learned before, in new skills and new acquisition skills and other more.
The participants were grouped into various stages to grasp the lecture, as the new hairstyles of Shambhala, butterfly, braids, jungle braids, and brighter hair will translate to money spinners for them, all things being equal.
Today is like they now have a better understanding of the projection, where they are going to, how do they, learn how to braid and all of that. So today for them is no longer looking new. So it's looking like, I think I'm becoming a pro gradually.
By teaching them trending hairstyles so that they'll be able to stand on their own and be able to attend to whatever client that comes.
My advice for them is just to put themselves down and learn very well so that they can be able to stand up for themselves.
If the interest shown at the launch training by the youth is anything to go by, then thousands of the unemployed will be taken off the streets as the days go by. In Asaba, Tessie, Coca, NTA News.
Nice. President Buhari congratulates Dr. Kayode Fayemi, the governor of Ekiti State and chairman Nigerian Governors Forum, as he marks his birthday Wednesday, February 9, 2022. President Buhari describes Governor Fayemi as a good friend and an active party member and wishes him many more years in the service of his community and the nation. President Buhari also sends a birthday message to a foremost political mobilizer and a former deputy national woman leader, Kemi Nelson. In a statement marked the senior special assistant to the president on media and publicity, Garba Shehu, the president said, Nigeria takes pride in the many accomplishments of the women of our nation. It is our party's honor to have leaders such as Kemi Nelson in our midst. End of quote. When News Extra returns from this next break we are about to take, rice is on the news again. This time around, the plight of those in the business of rice husk. Do stay with us.
Oh, boy, I see this collab where they shoot there. Blue scatter. Guy, give me small new number now.
Romance without finance now, annoyance. Better give me bullet.
Yeah, give me the number.
Oh, yeah, jot the number down. 0805.
Ha! Where the complete number?
This one so hot like the blind side go need juice, so just like juices.
Hey, oh yeah, give me last numbers.
My 5 password.
41 now you owe me.
Oh yeah, 7650.
What's you? What's you? Smiley, hello, how are you? What's you? Guys, your first collab was on the train, dude. You know.
Find your first. Choose a social data bundle that suits your style. Dial *777# Glow Unlimited.
At the heart of your waking up and going out is your desire to succeed. This keeps you awake, running through your mind, even when bathing. At Bedmate, we understand and remain your partners in providing you durable furniture that helps you work better and introduces you as a person of good taste. That's why from 13 January to 20 February 2022, you can own items in a Sophia Office series at incredible discounts of 20% off with amazing gifts too. Hurry now to our showrooms to enjoy this limited offer like many others needing high-performance work tools to success.
I did look for a pension fund administrator. We're soft, makes sense, we care for me. Shy. No be the type when story go enter the matter when it's time to deliver. Oh no. The brand is sure them no go stress you. Call them then they accessible. Yes, customer care where they on point. No go regret when you try, of course. Profitable investment, everything is just a blend. If you don't want it good for you, guy, make you choose premium pension today. Make that switch to premium pension. Premium pension. Make that switch to premium pension.
Join over 700,000 satisfied members and enjoy the premium experience at our offices across the 36 states in Nigeria, including the FCT. Call 094615-700-704 to make the switch today. Premium pension. Active today, premium tomorrow.
The north is so beautiful. And the food, it's nothing like I have ever tasted before. The color.
Vibrant. What about the aroma?
The aroma, oh gosh. It smells just like this one.
This smells so good.
Yeah.
Your Dambo Shinkafa tastes even better. How did you do it?
Onga seasoning. It's all the seasoning you need for great taste and aroma.
Onga, Mama's helping hand.
When times are tough, we know that as a mother, one thing you should never compromise on is your family's oral health, because they deserve the best. Oral-B, all-round protection. It's great value. It protects your mouth from harmful bacteria and also protects you against tooth holes and gum problems, which can lead to tooth loss. It strengthens your family's teeth and gives them all-round protection. So remember, protect their future. Oral-B for healthier, stronger teeth in just 1 week.
Sometimes before I step on stage, my mind gets clouded. But that's when I know it's time to take that deep, tum-tum cooling breath.
There's a drop of goodness in everyone. Share goodness with someone today.
Malta Guinness. Enjoy a world of good.
Hey you, 100 million naira up for grabs with your favorite Indomie noodles in the all-new I Love My Indomie promo. Grab an I Love My Indomie promo pack. Look inside the pack for a unique letter and collect all 14 letters, including the special heart, to form I Love My Indomie. Send a picture of your collection to our WhatsApp number to redeem your instant cash prize of 100,000 naira. So hurry and grab your favorite Indomie noodles now. Offer valid in selected cities only till March 31st, 2022. Indomie noodles, tasty nutrition, good for you.
Welcome back. You can follow this news broadcast live on our website, nta.ng/live, and on YouTube channel, NTA News Online. You can also visit our Twitter handle at NTA News Now, our Facebook page, NTA Network News, and Instagram, NTA Network, for updates. Let's talk business. AFCFTA Secretariat partners Afrexim Bank to manage base fund of the AFCFTA Adjustment Fund as investors gain 53.8 billion naira in the capital market. And we have Musa Abakar with details on business news. So Musa, it's over to you.
Thank you, Fatima. Now let's begin with trade. The African Continental Free Trade Area, FCFTA, Secretariat and African Export-Import Bank, Afrexim Bank and Cairo have signed an agreement relating to the management of the base fund of the AFCFTA Adjustment Fund. The fund will support African countries and the private sector to effectively participate in the new trade and environment established under the AFCFTA. The agreement was signed by Professor Benedict Orama, President and Chairman of the Board of Directors of Afrexim Bank, and Wemakele Mene, Secretary General of the AFCFTA Secretariat, in the presence of other stakeholders. The two parties were mandated by the African Union Summit of Heads of State and Government, as well as the AFCFTA Council of Ministers responsible for trade, to establish the Adjustment Fund to support AFCFTA state parties. This is to adjust to the new liberalized and integrated trade and environment established under the Continental Agreement. Oil prices were stable around $90 a barrel on Wednesday, but the prospect of increased supply from Iran and the United States kept pressure on the market, Reuters report. Brent crude futures edged down 34 cents to $90.44 per barrel. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude fell 42 cents to trade at $88.93 per barrel. It's a positive midweek trade for investors as the equities market recorded marginal gains. The NGX All-Share Index appreciated by 0.21% to close at 47,157.23 basis points, with market capitalization dropping to 25.4 trillion naira, 297 million shares, value at 4.694 billion naira in 4,661 deals exchange hands. The financial services sector dominated the activity chart. That's business news. Fatima, it's now over to you.
Thank you so much for that. Now, it won't be business as usual for truck drivers who overspeed on the roads, as more mobile courts will be set up to prosecute them. The measure is expected to curb this indiscipline by truck drivers and that of other articulated vehicles who pose danger to other road users. Oyemi Ajayi has that.
The alarming level of road crashes involving trucks and other articulated vehicles have continually become a source of concern to all. This is due to the ripple effects of loss of lives and leaving many injured, and those who survive never remain the same. In 2018, the Federal Road Safety Corps indicated that the country lost 39 billion naira to tanker and trailer-related road accidents resulting from overspeeding, amongst others.
As much as you want to reduce, if you look at the condition of the roads, sometimes there is only nothing much the driver can do if the road is not good. But by and large, everybody is putting his best.
The single and major cause of truck accidents is inexperienced drivers.
Lack of orderliness. People are not respected of law.
Many have condemned overspeeding of these trucks on the roads, insisting they harass and intimidate other road users, and advise that such drivers and their owners should receive stiffer penalties.
If speed limiting device is implemented, the issue of speeding will be out of it, because even if you accelerate from now to tomorrow, it will not surpass where it has kept you. We are encouraging most of our commands to set up mobile courts so that people could be tried summarily, some jailed if possible, some paying heavy fines to serve as deterrent to others.
We discovered that 75% of these accidents happen overnight. And that is the time we said all our members, wherever you are, by 6 o'clock, you should park there, you not go anywhere, to avoid night driving because of especially bad road. Anybody violates the laid down procedure, law, it's not our member, we remove him, unless the owner of the truck refuses to let us know.
Drivers are advised to make use of common sense limits while driving, aside mobile courts to be established nationwide to try and prosecute offenders, especially truck drivers, without speed limiting device. The Corps says it will be taking a strong stand against all violators on the road. In Abuja, Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
Osun State government has commenced massive rehabilitation of both federal and state roads across the 6 zones in the state. The intervention is aimed at improving the socio-economic fortunes of the state through provision of public infrastructure. Femi Afariogun reports.
Road infrastructure remains one of the cardinal focus of any government in Nigeria due to its socio-economic impact on the people. In realization of this invaluable impact, the Gboyega Oyetola-led administration is undertaking massive rehabilitation and, when necessary, reconstruction of no fewer than 25 roads spread across the 6 zones in Osun State, including some federal roads within the state already. The affected roads include Osogbo-Ilaodo boundary in Kwara State, Ada-Ibajo, Moro-Ipetumodu roads are already completed, while Iwo Township Road from Awe Junction to Bowe University is currently receiving attention among other township roads.
Ever since this place has been opening up, there's nothing like blockage again as it was before.
We appreciate our noble governor for having said the promise and fulfill it.
Another milestone in infrastructure by Gboyega Oyetola-led administration in
Osun State is this flyover in Olaya in the heart of Osogbo, the Osun State capital. The project started in the year 2021 and now is at 90% completion. When completed, the flyover is expected to reduce road accidents and incessant traffic bottleneck around the interchange.
But we're doing this in their interest. We want to ensure they have very smooth rides when they're coming around. We want to ensure that people that come from far and near are able to enjoy, good network of roads. And we thank God, we're going to do more of things like this.
This construction is very superb. In fact, I like it, very fascinating. We can compare it with some of the projects internationally.
All ongoing rehabilitation will be completed before the onset of rain this year. In Osogbo, Femi Afariogun, NTA News.
The World Bank, through the Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning, has been facilitating transparency and audit processes in the 36 states of the Federation. It is a process that rewards states that achieved specified disbursement-linked indicators with grants. The State's Fiscal Transparency Accountability and Sustainability Program for Results is now taking stock of what states are doing with the resources granted to them. And Leah Katimbabatunde is our guide.
Last 6 years, Nigeria has entered a recession and exceeded twice. Development partners like the World Bank have supported the federal government in meeting the demands of subnationals. First, through budget support facility, and second, the road to recovery occasioned by the coronavirus pandemic and its impacts. The state's Fiscal Transparency, Accountability and Sustainability Sectors Program for Results has so far disbursed $120.6 million to 24 states that qualified in the first tranche and $175 million to 35 states in the second tranche. Jigawa State has opened her accounts and project books for public scrutiny.
The civil servant have seen the advantage of these reforms and is targeted towards supporting them. First, when they are working, they will get their salaries on time, and when they retire, they will get their gratuity on time, and when they start earning pension, they will get it on time. In fact, from 1 to 10th of the month, they get their gratuity. So they will work hard to sustain the whole project.
Government is consolidating on reforms amid reduced cash inflows that will deepen prudential spending and developmental engagements.
Today, we are talking of fiscal sustainability, revenue generation, diversification of the economy, and increased IGR across the entire country.
Jigawa State ranks third in consistency of achievements, and the SIFTES program is aggregating disbursement-linked indicators, DLIs, to reward transparency and accountability in the third and fourth rounds of grants. Leah Katumbabatunde, NTA News.
To a bit on politics now, the 21 newly elected local government council chairmen in Kebbi State have been sworn in Burning Kebbi. Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, while addressing the gathering, urged the newly elected local government council leadership to eschew partisan politics and operate a unified administration for the development of the state. And we have Usman Abdullahi with that.
The Kebbi State Independent Electoral Commission has issued a press statement stating that the All Progressive Congress Party has emerged victorious and won all the seats in the local government polls recently held in the state. That has been the oath of office and that of allegiance of the 21 newly elected local government councils chairmen as administered by the state Chief Judge Justice Suleiman Muhammad Ambursa shortly after the presentation of certificate of return by the State Independent Electoral Commission. Addressing the gathering, Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu commended the commission, the security agencies and political party supporters among other stakeholders for ensuring the smooth conduct of the election. He reminded the newly elected members the importance and weight of the pledge they took, urging them to operate a transparent administration irrespective of political inclination.
the chairman and vice chairman to focus on understanding of all the opportunities that are in their constituencies and participate in how those potentials can be further developed. They must participate in the monthly joint account meeting so that they can be familiar with the finances of their local government, so that they can ask questions, and where they need to protest, let them protest.
Governor equally said in their plan to reintroduce area council development authorities, women and youths will be taken into consideration. Speaking on behalf of the newly local government council chairman, the Birnin Kebbi local government chairman, Aminu S. Fada, expressed appreciation and promised to justify the confidence reposed in them by the people of the state. 16 out of the 225 local government councillors recently elected are women. Usman Abdullahi Shehu, NTA News.
What is special about this month of February? Answers in the next part of News Extra, as we also feed you with more developments on the 12-year-old allegedly assaulted in Akure. Join us again.
You complete fresh protection. New Close-Up Toothpaste Complete Fresh Protection takes care of your 5 important oral care needs. It gives you strong teeth, prevents tooth holes, cleans deeply, fights bacteria, and gives you fresh breath. Complete fresh protection from Close-Up.
Scenery. There is no doubt about it. Trees and other plants are so admirable, and they produce productive farmlands and water. Imagine this colossal damage. No lands, lakes are gone, houses wash away. Migration is imminent. All this as a result of desertification. We must fight desertification by planting more and more trees to save our lands and restore the glory of our agriculture. These will ensure a sustainable food sufficiency, adequate flow of water, and peace of mind. This message is from the National Agency for Great Green Wall.
Any short, sharp pain is usually the first sign of sensitivity. The likelihood is the condition is probably going to get worse if you do nothing about it. I recommend Sensodyne. It actually goes inside the tooth and helps calm down the nerve right where we need it to act. Sensodyne is a brand that I know works.
Naira up for grabs with your favorite Indomie noodles in the all-new I Love My Indomie promo. Grab an I Love My Indomie promo pack. Look inside the pack for a unique letter and collect all 14 letters, including the special heart, to form I Love My Indomie. Send a picture of your collection to our WhatsApp number to redeem your instant cash prize of 100,000 Naira. So hurry and grab your favorite Indomie noodles now. Offer valid in selected cities only till March 31st, 2022. Indomie noodles, tasty nutrition good for you.
Not all washing powders are the same. Sunlight adds bursts of freshness to cleaning power to give you Sunlight 2-in-1 for sensational cleaning and freshness that lasts. Sunlight 2-in-1 sensational cleaning with burst after burst of freshness. Introducing Sunlight with luxurious oud fragrance.
How did I get here? It all started shortly after I graduated from MSTC, the Model Skills Training Center with a certificate in ICT. I successfully developed a data management program that has been called the software of the future. Thanks to its success, everyone wants it. And as you can see, now everyone wants me. But I'm not alone. The skills training programs at MSTC are equipping young Nigerians to become the next big success story. Whether it's ICT, mechatronics, facility technology, electronics and computer networking, or culinary studies. A certificate at MSTC is the way of the future. And just like me, there he is. Everyone will want you to.
ITF, developing the nation's human resource.
Man, get as it be. We dey find work, but sometimes even the package, no gree package, it dey frustrate. But with Trophy Lager beer and your honorables we go help you package, everything fit balance. Even when everything no gree balance, your honorables go still stand by you. Whether na night or day, no matter the condition, your honorables go still stand by you. So that when the package don't finally set, everybody safe go gree. But no forget your honorables, the ones we stand by you. Now them must stay when you won't lick mouth. Because now who stand by you be your honorable.
Thanks for staying. For centuries, people across the world look forward to one date in February. I guess you know that day, the 14th, of course. A special day for loved ones. But apart from the 14th, there is something about this year's February which makes it unique. And Abdullahi Mohammed reports that the uniqueness of this February is in the number of times each day occurs in the 28 days.
It's obvious that this particular month of February 2022 appears unique. Each day occurred 4 times within the month. The social media has been agog with these phenomena, with claims that it happens only once in 823 years. So, I put the taste of the authenticity of the claim as well as the uniqueness of the month to a geographer. From his assessment, it's a fallacy.
If you look at the calendar, 2017, February has 4 days equal. And even with the Chinese people, they have this saying of their own, Sheng Feng Yu, something like that. It's very superstitious. And once people see things like this, they call them money bag. Money bag, that if you witness this, money is going to come your way. So we hope money comes our way, but this is just a mere superstition and it has nothing to do with sciences.
A fallacy for the geographer because it has failed the scale of science, but a chance with a professor of psychology gave a new dimension to the discourse. For him, it's an opportunity to use the uniqueness of the month to influence the behavior of people.
You can, by auto-suggestion, by making suggestions, make people to see and believe. And that saves you a lot of trouble because a lot of the destruction we're facing, a lot of the fall in economy and so on, we need to manage it. And it's by all going together, not by we sabotaging or undoing the strength of the country. That is patriotism.
I thereafter moved to the custodian of fate, and to them there is nothing other than coincidence in the months many thought has something special.
And the Prophet ﷺ is saying, "Man ahdatha fi amrina ma hadha ma laysa minhu fahuwa raddun." He who innovates something which is not in this religion definitely is being rejected.
What these things should trigger our minds to do is to think of how do we impact life and what do we do out of it, not to sit and be. The Bible talks about vain debates that have no profit. People go into them. I think this is what is happening.
When next the peddlers of unfounded messages want to create a special month, they definitely will have to do a special research to stand the test of science, psychology, and religion. In Abuja, Abdullahi Mohammed, NTA News.
Oh, thank you so much, Abdullahi. I'll just call that a special February. What could have pushed a mother of 4 to inflict multiple injuries on her 12-year-old domestic worker for allegedly stealing a piece of meat from her pot? Well, both the victim and the accused are now before a magistrate court where justice is expected to be served. Olubukola Aduwo has details. I must warn, however, that viewer discretion is advised, as some of the pictures here may be disturbing.
Is said to be the house help to the mother of the defendant. The defendant, Okwayemi, was said to have relocated from Ilori to live with her mother with her 4 children shortly after the demise of her husband. Okwayemi was alleged to have used a razor blade and sticks to inflict multiple injuries on the 12-year-old Sunday for allegedly stealing a piece of meat from her pot.
Police clinic near that road. When I saw him with the wounds, I took him to police hospital for treatment. A good Samaritan walked up to the station and said while she was on her way to church, she saw a boy of about 12 years in the pool of his blood. So she had to intervene. Then she realized it was the boss of the boy that actually used a razor to cut him in different parts of the body.
When NTA News visited their residence located at Idimango, Adebowale axis of Ondo Road, Akure, Okwayemi's mother, who admitted that Sunday's incessant cases of theft in the neighborhood called for concern, appealed to the government to have mercy on her daughter, as she could not explain what came over her.
I know it is the work of the devil. I cannot explain how it happened.
In the case, which is being tried at an Akure magistrate court, Okwayemi is accused of attempted murder, child abuse, as well as other offences under the Violence Against Persons Act 2015. Magistrate Court 3, where the trial is being handled, says the defendant is guilty of 3 counts and will continue trials on the other counts on Monday, 14th February 2022.
We also have keen interest in the livelihood of the 4 children of the accused person, the defendant. So it is our hope that apart from the order of court that they should be remanded at the children's home, that the family of their father, their deceased father or the mother will still come up to see that they are taken care of.
Meanwhile, Sunday is currently receiving medical treatment at the police hospital, Akure. In Akure, Olubukola Aduwo, NTA News.
Swords have given way to words as stakeholders from Benue and Taraba interfaced with the National Boundary Commission towards finding amicable conclusion on boundary issues that have lingered over the years between the 2 states. Kenneth Nanim reports that both parties believe the boundary disputes have brought setback to the socio-economic development of the areas.
The Jukuns of Taraba and Tiv of Benue are not strangers to each other. They both bear scars of the series of boundary clashes in the past, resulting in the loss of lives and property. To love thy neighbor is an injunction the 2 clans are still struggling with. But this joint meeting attempts to create a path to that joyful conclusion by reflecting on the various agreements before now and finding a common ground going forward.
I want to assure you that this time around, with the commitment of the 2 states and the federal government, whatever decisions we take, we're going to pursue it vigorously to logical conclusion.
Although the Deputy Governor of Benue State is emphasizing the need to pacify all aggrieved parties, his Taraba State counterpart is more concerned about public reorientation advocacy and support from the National Boundary Commission to finish up with the boundary demarcation exercise as a leeway to solving other issues.
The displaced people from Taraba are yet to return. 2, their houses, as you know, were burnt down. And since then we held a bipartisan meeting or an interstate government meeting that was put in place by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. And we agreed that those people should go back and be resettled.
But we all know these border communities, mostly, they don't allow the officials of the National Boundary Commission to do the work. So it is our responsibility as government to sensitize our people If you are a tip man, you happen to find yourself in Taraba State, you will still remain in Taraba State. Drawing up the boundary line does not mean that you will move to Benue State, and vice versa.
The Thief Jukun face-off has its storied past. Today's generation is, however, being urged to create a better story of lasting peace beyond the ink on pieces of paper. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
Thank you, Kenneth. And we take our final break for the night. Please stay.
That in the last decade, this country has been at different wars trying to keep the peace and promote the sovereignty and the integrity of the country. The troops are doing their best. The president has given them all the necessary tools. It is left for us as young people and as Nigerians to give them all the support we can. We say kudos to all our gallant military men. Please, whenever you see a police officer in or out of uniform, if you know them, clap for them whenever they need be. Give them seats in buses and trains and airplanes. Have the airline managers reduce air tickets for them or train tickets for them. Show them that we appreciate what they do and show their families that there is something right and honorable and truly remarkable about wearing a uniform and going into the bushes and the forest to fight enemies of this country that are hell-bent in bringing your life to an end. It's a very tough time, but we have to all put our hands together. Please support our troops and support our police officers.
Judges of Nigerian Idol Season 7 are ready. The stage is set, and now it's time for you to impress.
Nigerian Idol Season 7, showing every Sunday on Africa Magic Urban and Family. Proudly sponsored by Biggie Drinks, Nigeria's favorite, and Binance. Exchange the world.
Let's touch on sports. The recent CAF nod to MKO Abiola National Stadium to host the coming Nigeria-Ghana World Cup qualifying game has certainly raised enthusiasm of sports-loving fans in the Federal Capital Territory and its environs. It is the realization of what they say they have so missed for years. Oh yes. So Musbat Wahab is telling us the story of the stadium and the effort that has triggered the possibility of a spectacle at the once abandoned national edifice.
Nigeria made a statement with a whopping $360 million for the construction of a new stadium in the heart of Abuja. And visitors were treated to sporting spectacles as the immediate target 2003 African Games came alive. Years of confounding neglect saw the stadium become only a landmark of the giants in slumber with weeds and dust for company. The rechristening of a national edifice after the heroic pillar of sports, MKO Abiola, put some gloss on its pillars like the man behind the name who was synonymous with success. The main bowl of the stadium was one of the 3 stadia that saw fortune in the Adopt a Pitch initiative, a PPP arrangement adopted by the Sports Ministry. And in 2 years, the business conglomerate Dangote Group delivered a refurbished main bowl, a positive goal scored. Lost glory now restored, lush green grass with 24 sprinklers, digital scoreboards installed with a 2-year maintenance contract in place.
We have a pure dynasty pass parlor here. That's the grass. It's a new technology. I think this is what they use in Qatar.
It looks like a mirage at a point in time, and this multi-billion facility was rotting away. But it has been brought back to life now. The maintenance should be taken seriously, and that is because if you don't maintain, it breaks down. And when it breaks down, the cost for a breakdown maintenance is far high.
Like a timely icing on the cake, the renovation attracted another good news. African football governing body gave it a go-ahead for the hosting of a reverse fixture of World Cup qualifier between Nigeria and Ghana. Necessary approval gotten. Super Eagles of Nigeria now have a stadium they can call a home, MKO Abiola National Stadium.
We are happy that football is back to Abuja. The national stadium is now back to life. Of course, our team always feel happy playing in Abuja because we have played many matches and emerged victorious.
A lot of action were missed when it was shut down, but now I'm happy that life has come back to the stadium. We can now come and sing and drum and and dance for the Eagles.
March 27th is now a crucial date, not only in picking a vital ticket for Qatar, but also for the reunion of Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Abuja fans. In Abuja, Musbao and Wahab, NT News.
And we head to Bauchi. We're working with traditional and religious leaders in sensitization campaigns have been identified as a sure way of achieving greater coverage in administering the COVID-19 vaccine. This submission was made by Omotayo Bolu, the Center Director for Immunization of the United Nations Center for Disease Control and Prevention during an advocacy visit on Governor Bala Mohammed in Bauchi. Mahmoud Mohammed reports.
Omotayo Bolu and her team are here to partner with Bauchi State Government on how best to improve the uptake of the COVID-19 vaccine and to strengthen the coverage of polio vaccination and other healthcare challenges.
We are here to work with Bauchi State Government to get more teams out to the field. We unfortunately cannot stay in one place. We have to move out to where the people are. In order to move out, we need resources.
On the part of Bauchi State Government, Governor Bala Mohammed says the state will continue to leverage on the interventions offered by the center towards improving quality service delivery in the health sector.
Bauchi is a cosmopolitan place. We have already conquered all these sentiments and what have you around immunization, because we know that you have to prevent things from happening. And of course, we'll live up to our obligation.
He therefore added that his administration will ensure that people at the grassroots have access to quality healthcare services. In Bauchi, Mahmoud Muhammad, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has extended sincere condolences to the Emir of Maradun, Alhaji Garba Tambari, on the death of his first wife, Haji Arabi Garba. In a statement, the president, who also conveyed his commiserations to the Maradun Emirate Council, praised for the peaceful repose of the departed, who was a pillar of support to the emir for more than 4 decades, making landmark contributions to his successful reign as a traditional ruler. President Buhari's thoughts and prayers are with the family of the emir and of the people of Maradun, who will surely miss Haji's exemplary conduct as a devout Muslim, mother and wife. The death has also occurred of Salamatu Tabita Audu, MFR, on the 30th of January 2022. She was aged 80. Salamatu Audu was an educationist, a principal of many schools at the state and federal levels during an illustrious career. She was a commissioner for information and home affairs in the old Kaduna state in 1984. Salamatu was also a director in the Federal Ministry of Education. A statement from the family indicates that there will be a wake-up on Thursday, 10th of February, at Our Saviour's Anglican Church, Katsina Road by Independence Way, Kaduna. She will be buried on a Friday, 11th of February, immediately after the funeral service at the same church. She is survived by 2 children and many grandchildren. And with that, we conclude News Extra for tonight. But before we go, here's a reminder to connect with the NTA to stand against rape and rapists. I am Fatima Morbuba. Enjoy the rest of your night and please stay safe.